Elementary music teacher friend, you love what you do, but you might feel unappreciated and, in fact, unseen some days. You may even feel like you're on a music teacher island and just want to connect with other music teachers who can relate to both your struggles and wins when it comes to teaching elementary music. I get you and understand completely the feelings you're having. That's why each and every week, the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast will provide you with solo and guest episodes that will help you realize you're not alone in your music teaching journey. Throughout each episode, my goal is for you to be able to walk away with actionable steps and ideas to help you feel like you're ready to take on the new week with whatever challenges may be thrown your way. Hi, I'm your host, Jessica Peresta, and I'm so glad you're here. Whether you're at home, in your car, in the shower, or wherever else you're listening, grab your cup of coffee or whatever other beverage is nearby and listen in to the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast.
Hi, I'm Sam Fessich from the EduMagic Podcast, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Teaching elementary music to kids all day can make you feel a little cuckoo. In fact, you're probably feeling worn out from finishing out the school year as we speak. If so, you're needing support now more than ever before. Even thinking about heading into the next school year is probably causing you a little bit of stress. First of all, enjoy your summer to the fullest. Take the break you so desperately deserve. You need it. You deserve it. Go and have a break. Then, come to the free coaching week that was created just for you, elementary music teacher friend. In 8 days, you're going to get lesson planning training, accountability calls, mentorship and support, mindset work, community of other music teachers, all inside of a pop-up Facebook group that was created just for this week. It's going to be amazing. I'm going to help you go from overwhelmed to confident, from stressed out and unappreciated to confident in the classroom, fulfilled at work and home, and joyful teaching music day in and day out. This isn't your typical PD friend. It's much more than just another workshop or webinar or challenge, which I've hosted in the past. This is created to be an experience of growing together with other music educators just like you who are there to challenge you, support you, and cheer you on through an entire week devoted and set aside for you. Trust me, you don't want to miss this week. It's going to be epic, and I'm going all in on supporting you in every way possible. Grab your spot and see the schedule at subscribepage.com/Elementary Music Coaching Week 2022, or click on the link in the show notes. It's all going down June 26th through July 3rd, and I cannot wait to see you soon. Welcome to the third Bite-Sized PD of the summer. Today, we're going to be talking about finding peace. If you have missed the previous two sessions, they are now on my Facebook, in my Facebook group, the Elementary Music Teacher Community, on my Instagram at Jessica Peresta, and on the podcast, the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast. So when you're constantly moving, teaching, planning, and living life, peace can be hard to find. I know that's the case for me, for sure. There's always expectations to meet, and relaxation is the last thing on the agenda most of the time. It's not because you don't have a desire to relax. It's not because it's not good intentions aren't there. It's the fact that it's hard to find the time sometimes whenever life is constantly moving and busy. It's just real life, right? And so when you're constantly hearing, and I've been guilty of this, just relax, you guys, take a break, find time to unwind. It's easier said than done, though. It really is. And your life is constantly moving. Even in the summer when you're, off of school and you're still going to PD and taking breaks, it's still hard to find time to relax the way you want to. But the definition of peace, if you Google the word peace, one of the definitions that come up is freedom from disturbance and tranquility. That is kind of strong if you think about it. The word peace means freedom from disturbance and to have tranquility. It doesn't mean freedom from tranquility. It means and it's having tranquility. So freedom from disturbance. You're free from being disturbed and you're finding tranquility. That's really, if you think about that, it's pretty strong if you think about the meaning. It's when everything is aligned and perfect, harmony is found. Everything is aligned. You're feeling like everything's just going smoothly. Everything is just kind of happening and falling into place. That's where peace is found. The world that we live in, and think about the last couple of years, it's been pretty crazy, to be honest. I mean, like, I tell my own children, my kids are 12, 10, and 7. I tell them they've lived through more in the last 2 years than, honestly, I mean, in my childhood, I didn't live through 99% of what they're living through. It's insane. But if you think about the last couple years, especially, there's been a pandemic, there's been wars, racial and social injustices, some shootings. There has been, anytime you turn on the news, something else is happening. It's just been crazy. So not only in your personal life has it been hard to find peace, but when things are going on all around you in the world all the time, you're mentally dealing with that as well. And so it's just becoming harder and harder. So in the midst of all this, you're still teaching music and you're dealing with helping kids navigate through all this at the same time, right? Your students are living in the same world you're living in. And so not only are you helping yourself navigate through the turmoil that the world is going through right now and things going on in your own personal life, but you're also helping your students navigate through things, and it just gets difficult. It just becomes difficult. So let's move right into the solution. Number 1, in each week of these bite-sized PDs, I'm going to offer a solution, resources, and action steps to take. So we always start with the solution. The solution: don't be too hard on yourself and know that whatever we're dealing with, whether it's personally or things going on in the world, will pass. Nothing lasts forever. It will get better. Not everything. It's not like a blanket statement, but don't be too hard on yourself and don't think I should be further along than I am, or I shouldn't be struggling with this, or I should be finding peace in this area of my life. But don't be too hard on yourself. The other thing I want to say is to find the time to breathe, pray, meditate, and process through your thoughts and your feelings. I'm not going to give you a time. I know there's some people that are like, do 30 minutes to an hour a day. I, even in my own life, don't have that sometimes. Like today, I have back-to-back stuff going on. Puppy went to the vet. I have 2 of my kids have a doctor's appointment later. I have work I'm doing right after this. I have something else, a meeting. There's stuff going on all day long. And some days are like that. And other days, especially in the summer, there's an ebb and flow. And so for me, I don't tie myself down and say I have to do an hour of praying a day or an hour of sitting and meditating. It's dependent on the day, but I will find the time, even if it's 5 minutes, because I think any amount of time you're devoting to finding time to do self-care, whatever that looks like, going on a walk, I don't know, hanging out with friends, whatever that looks like for you, that's what matters. It's the intention, and it's progress over perfection. And it's about finding the time, even if it's just a little bit. Okay. And the other part of the solution I want to say about finding peace is do something that brings you joy every single day. This, of course, is going to look different depending on who you are and what brings you joy as a person. What brings you joy is not going to be what brings someone else joy. So when I say find something that brings you joy every single day, this could be being intentional about going out and doing something fun. It could be watching your favorite show. It could be calling a friend you haven't talked to in a while. What brings you joy as a person, and try to do something for yourself that brings you joy every single day. But on the flip side of that, another thing that could bring you joy is doing something for others. It is serving. It is, when I say call a friend to hang out, well, like, what could you do that brings them joy as well? I know doing stuff for other people brings me joy too. So think about that as well when you're thinking about that. And when we're talking about finding peace, and I said find something that brings you joy every single day, another way you can find peace is to stand up for what you believe in. Making your voice heard feels good. And now this is going to look different for everyone. Like finding a cause you love to stand for. Maybe it is in the music education community. Maybe it is somewhere in your personal community you live in your town, where find something that you really love to stand for, something that brings you joy, and that will really help kind of move you forward in finding the peace you're looking for. That's just one of the steps. Now, let's move right into resources. There are two resources I want you to look at after or listen to after today's session. And the first one is called, it's a blog post I found called How I Maintained Peace of Mind as a Teacher. How I Maintain Peace of Mind as a Teacher. And just go to the Modern School Marm, MARM.com, and in the search bar type in the word peace, and the first blog post that comes up you will see is called How I Maintained Peace of Mind as a Teacher. It's a really helpful article. She really goes into, I don't want to be wrong, but 7 or 8 steps that really helped her in finding peace that I know you will find helpful, even if you just get one tidbit from that article that you can move forward with. And the other one is a podcast episode on my podcast, the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast, where it is about trusting your intuition. This is episode 188. And I recorded this because a lot of times this aligns perfectly with what I'm talking about today, because a lot of times I feel like, even in my own life, the reason we don't find peace is because either we are struggling with people pleasing or we're struggling with wondering if we're making the right decision. And so I recorded an episode about trusting your intuition, because a lot of times you as a person trusting your gut and trusting that you know what's best for you, you just got to trust that voice inside of you sometimes. So that episode will really help you if you've been really struggling with a mental battle of, am I doing blank right? Okay, so that's episode 188 of my podcast. Action steps. Number 1, I want you to write down, where is your lack of peace coming from? Like I mentioned, it could be something in your personal life. It could be what's going on in the world. It could be a combination of both. Write down, where is your lack of peace coming from? Maybe you know in here, but there's so much going on that you haven't really stopped to process, okay, why am I feeling like I'm not at peace right now? What is causing that? The first step before you can move forward is to identify that thing or things, okay? So you're going to write it down. Then number 2, what ways will help you process through the hard things of this world? Is it praying about it? Is it going out into nature more to let yourself think? Is it, like I said earlier, standing for what you believe in, maybe serving, maybe going out and campaigning? Maybe it is when you're thinking about processing through the things of this world, is it talking about it? Is it reading more about it to understand things? Is it getting off of social media and the news? Because sometimes that's what I need to do, because it doesn't mean I'm blocking out what's happening and like just being naive about it. But sometimes you just can't keep watching things and listening to things, because it will start eating at your soul and your mind. And sometimes it's okay to not check social media, and it's okay to not check the TV. So maybe that's what you need to do from time to time. And number 3, what ways can you help your students feel more at peace in this crazy world they're living in? Now, I know a lot of you are on summer break, so I'm helping you think through going into next school year and thinking about some of the things that your students went through last school year. How did you already help them get through tough situations and find peace in this crazy world that we're not going to separate what's going on in the world with them coming to school. They understand there's things going on in the world, and they're taking it to school, and so they're not naive about it. They need an adult to talk to them about it and be there for them if they have questions. So how are you helping your students feel more at peace in this crazy world? Maybe it's bringing in new songs. Maybe it's having more time to talk to them about things other than music during class time. Maybe it's answering their tough questions at an age-appropriate level. The way you're going to talk to kindergartners is different than you talk to a 5th grader. I have a 7-year-old at home and a 12-year-old at home. I can't talk to them the same way. So how are you going to do that moving into next school year? I want you to just process through some of those things before you go into the school year. Then what I want you to do is remember that I have a free coaching week coming up on June 26th. It is where all these bite-sized PDs we've been talking about, you're going to have the opportunity, not just for me, but to talk to other music teachers on some calls and some trainings and in a private Facebook group that I've created just for you. And it's going to be amazing. So subscribepage.com/elementary music coaching week 2022. You can find out more information. You can sign up. And yes, it is free. And I would love to see you there. Have an amazing day. Enjoy your summer. And I will be back soon. Bye, friends. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening into the Elementary Music Teacher Podcast. There is an exclusive Facebook group just for listeners of this podcast and any elementary music teacher called the Elementary Music Teacher Community Facebook Group. Come on over and join us there where we have conversations around the podcast episodes and encourage each other each and every week. And also head to my website, thedomesticmusician.com. I have some free resources there that you can download to help you gain traction in your classroom today, as well as the blog and the membership site and all kinds of other goodies to help you keep going in your music teaching journey. I cannot wait to keep connecting with you and encouraging you and spurring you on in your journey of teaching elementary music. Hang in there, have an amazing week, and I will see you soon.